Ankh and Ma'at. It is wonderful that you are here. Where we want to automatically just thank you for your patience. I know that so many of you are probably preparing to come into our Facebook page, our YouTube channel. You didn't see us and you were wondering what was happening. You may know that yesterday we had an amazing private ceremony for members of the WENWET, their closing ceremony. A ceremony that has been long awaited, partially because everything has been strange with us during the pandemic and figuring out how to utilize space. All of that has been a challenge. So I want to say that we are absolutely pleased that you still come here, that you're still with us today, and that you are going to see at least a public recognition of members of the WENWET. All 9 of the WENWET are not here at this moment, but 5 of the WENWET are here at this moment. We had folks here yesterday and today. And so we want to recognize them. We want to celebrate them. We want you all to understand that their process was complete in December of 2022, but it is now officially complete with the ceremony yesterday and the public acknowledgement today. So before I say anything else, you know that when we start Kemetic Ascension, we always ask where in the world you are and how long you've been part of Kemetic Ascension. Please let us know. Anika, we have people that have come in?
Yes, so let's start with the people in the room.
Okay, wonderful. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. They can't see them. And trust me, we have a robotic camera. The people in the room are laughing because they've seen the camera fly all around. And so there's a way for us to do it, but if we do that, we have no idea if it's going to come center. So you know what? You are going to just have to trust us. Does anyone want to say hello to folks? You can even come up if you want and say and greet if you like. Who's in the room and how long have you been here?
Me. Can I do something first?
What you mean do something? You mean come in or you want to?
Help me out, brother.
Okay. He's trying to share. By the way, listen, for those of you who are here and here really to see the acknowledgement of members of the WENWET, please go ahead and recognize that this is a good time for you to share. This is a good time for you to like. We're live on Facebook and on YouTube. So just tell them to go to the Shrine of Ma'at YouTube page and the Shrine of Ma'at Facebook page. We're live on both pages. Abu Waziri, did you want to come forward? So this is one of the members of the WENWET, Abu Waziri, one of the leaders of the Shrine of Ma'at. We're so pleased that he's here with us. His beautiful family is here as well. You can't see them, but know that they're here. Do you want to talk about how long you've been part of the Shrine of Ma'at and where you're from and that good stuff?
Sure. I've been a part of the Shrine Ma'at. I started out back in 2017. And in 2017, I was able to become an official member. I was inducted into installed into the Hessie when we first started. And from the Hessie, we got started and we got together and were able to start off in the WENWET. And so it's been three long years of training, the best of training. And the fact that we have gotten to know each other very well. And so I am from Brooklyn, New York.
BK in the house.
So it's been an exciting journey, and I look forward to the things that are coming forth in the future.
Wonderful. Nefer. So you are seeing one of our WENWET. And I'm so pleased that you got a chance to see him. And he's talked about how long he's been around and how long the training was. 3 years is not short. We met every week for 3 years. Maybe we missed 3 weeks in 3 years.
During the pandemic.
During the pandemic. It didn't start in the pandemic. We thought that we were going to start in person. The world had other plans for us. So we did it all during the pandemic, met every week. And so they've gotten a whole lot. So we really have to celebrate the fact that the folks that are here really were consistent. They were committed to you, committing to uplifting our community, committed to ensuring that the Shrine of Ma'at continues to grow, committed to their study, committed to their practice. This is so important. So I want to say dua to Abu Waziri for all of the work that he's done as well. We'll have a ceremony. This is only the public ceremony. Y'all didn't get to see what we did yesterday. You'd have to be a member of the Wenwet to see that. But please, let me say dua to him. Does anyone else want to introduce themselves? Everyone's pointing to Ames because they figure that Ames would be the person to jump up first, but Ames is trying to share. That's what, just like we told you to share, everyone here is trying to share too. So please, Abu Ames.
I am Abu Ames Kuti Ma'at Amin Ra. I have been studying and practice Kemetic spirituality for close to 30 years. I was able to was guided here some years later after completing studies at the Shrine of Assar and taking studies in Kemetic 101. And at that time, I was not able to continue my studies, but by way of some guidance, I was brought to Jabari's attention about 13 years ago. Oh, wow, or maybe, yeah, 13.
It's a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as I was here, well, as we always say, we like to bring Ma'at. I came for counseling. I first started coming here for counseling at that time of my life. And at the same time, I realized he let me know that him and his mate had a shrine in the community, and it was teaching and all that. And I said I would like to be part of that. And I started coming, and then I did my initiation, probably did about 3 years ago. No, it was before the pandemic. So in 2017, I did my initiation.
Time flies.
And then the opportunity to progress into further studies of myself and to help others, the priesthood studies in which I entered in with my fellow Wenwet. And so we all completed well. And yes, I'm one of the new priests in the neighborhood. You'll be seeing me soon on the street, wherever. You'll know me by the face and the smile and the personality, right?
Right.
I ain't here too.
Dua. Come forward. And I've been saying Abu for the folks that have come before you, but and Abu is an appropriate term, but in many ways we should also recognize him as Hemnetter. While our title, Anika and I are Hemnetter and Tepi, they are Hemnetter as well. So we're going to allow them to call themselves either Abu or Hemnetter, obviously, but I want you to recognize that as a Hemnetter, they are the divine servants that are here to assist you as well. So please, I'm going to say Hemnetter Kasekamui, so that it's clear that I'm saying you'll decide which one you really want to use.
Okay. Dua. Thank you, everyone. I'm so used to being called Abu or saying Abu.
For 3 years, right?
Yeah. Hemnetter, wow. So I am Abu or Hemnetter Kasekamwe Tuhutika Chijoke Zephaniah. So yeah, like the other priests have said, we started in 2017 as divine servants of the people, Hemsenu, and now we are servants of the most divine, Hemnetters. So it's an honor, I must say, walking with you all, and those of you who are not here with us, the other members of the Wenwet. Shout out Abu Noni, Noni, shout out Abu Shishad, Letter Shishad, Abu Ka, definitely. Yes, Abu Waseret. Shout out to all of you. Yeah, it's been an honor walking with you. And shout out to the rest of the Hemsenu, and all of the shrine and all of our Kemetic family and other Afro spiritual practitioners. You know, it's a lot of people that influenced us on the way, on the walk. You know who you are. So a little bit more about me. Started as a Hemsanu 2017. I started my walk into so-called consciousness back in 2001, I'll say. Probably, yeah, about 2001. And all roads were leading to Kemetic spirituality and Afro spiritual systems, practices. You know, my grandmother on my paternal side, I talk about this with the Wenwet a lot. She was from Sudan, what today is called Sudan. So, and she practiced Coptic religion. So, you know, so I was always kind of being pulled in that direction, you know, and long story short, now I'm here. And so it wasn't until about 2015, I think it was, I started hearing about Brother Jabari and Hemnetter and Tefi Anika as well. And, you know, I'm glad that I had a chance to meet them here in Harlem. And yeah, I decided to move forward. And now here I am today. So thank you all.
Wow. Yes, it's been a journey, right?
Yeah.
It has been a journey. It has really been a journey. And I just have to say that all of these journeys have led to a very interesting place, right? I mean, just imagine having someone in your family from the region. That's interesting, right?
Definitely.
Some folks at home think that none of us have a lineage in the region. I'm not sure why they think that, because people who are Africans in the United States come from all over the continent, right? And so that's an amazing experience. Dua for sharing. And especially for sharing that. Dua. Is anyone else here want to introduce themselves? No pressure. Because you know the members of the Wenwet, we're going to pull you up anyway in a moment.
I'm Hemnetta Jamal Milton. I came here, it's been almost a decade now.
It's been a long time now.
It's been a time flying. It really is. I was thinking back like, wow, it has been that long.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, this journey has been amazing. Unlike going to any college, you know, course, this experience is something where this knowledge is something that you use every single day. We've had to use it in the course of while we were learning, which was pretty intense because of COVID. And when we started in 2020 with so much going on, we couldn't even afford to sit on the knowledge that we have been obtaining. We had to literally coach people through the experiences while going through the experiences they're going through. So the Hemnetter that came through this specific group is very, very unique in our approach to how we are going to approach this moving forward, you know, with Kemetic spirituality and the sacred sciences, and just moving it to the masses, you know. And all of these brothers and sisters that came in, we buckled down and we held each other down, you know, as best we could through this situation. And sometimes we couldn't even touch one another, you know. Like just being able to do this
for a long time.
is amazing, you know. Not being able to do that, we realized the value in family and the value in being together, you know. So this whole experience for me has been life-changing, breathtaking in many instances, and just eye-opening, just awakening inwardly and outwardly, and just how I see the world and just how I see myself and what our responsibility is moving forward. So, you know, much kudos to our head in Tepe's, everybody that's been doing all the work behind the scenes to make this thing roll. And everybody who's initiated and who's graduated. And I'm honored to be here. A little bit about myself. When I came here for the shrine. I was in Connecticut, and I got my awakening right before I left New York to move to Connecticut. And once I saw, you know, the energy online with Jabari and the magnitude that he had with his wife too as well, you know, because I have a significant other and children and all those things, and I wanted to see what that looks like, you know, Kemetic spirituality when it's mixed with family. And, you know, we got that here. That's the teaching that we were able to get. And that's why I came here, was for that energy, you know. So I'm just happy to be here, and I'm honored to be in this position. I'm honored to be able to serve, and dua to you.
Dua to you. And he's also being modest because he is a very well-known and highly regarded hip-hop artist as well. Living currently in Long Island, but you've probably seen some of his stuff, right? I mean, it really is amazing. I'll hear something. Someone will send me it. Did you hear this? So he's really a very well regarded and talented artist as well. So it's wonderful that he's in the ranks of the leadership of the shrine as well. Anyone else want to introduce himself? We're gonna introduce you later anyway.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's right. That's right. They're looking at the other member of the women like, you gonna stand? So, and I should say, it's rare. It's been rare recently with everything that our community, really the entire world has been through, to have this many people in the shrine. There was a point where we would be packed with maybe 10, 15 people regularly. And then really for the last 3 years, virtually every week, it has just been Anika and myself standing here. And that is not easy. That was really bizarre, right? And so it's wonderful to have laughter in the Shrine of Ma'at again. That's a real amazing experience to have folks come in and be part of this experience. So dua to you all as well. Wonderful. Are there some folks at home that are doing some shout outs?
Yes, so another one of our Wenwets, Abus Hemets in Turks, Wasserets is with us.
And can we say, first of all, let's say Seneb to Wasseret. She was with us moving yesterday, had a few mobility issues, just like myself. You should see how my back was behaving yesterday. But she is here because she will not be stopped. And that is something that we need to celebrate about her. She will not be stopped. We reached out to her once. She said, "Oh, I'll get back to you when I get back." We'll get back from where? I'm in Ghana, really? So she will not be stopped, and she should be celebrated for being indubitable and continuing to do what she does. She's probably just saying hello, but she's an amazing artist as well. So she didn't get to introduce herself to everyone else. Has been around for a long time, been part of the Hessie as well, and went through the 3-year training as well. Did she say anything else, or did I just put her all on blast?
Put her all on blast.
I put her all on blast.
So I'm just going in order.
Yes.
There's Baba Oikoku Abulafia. I hope I said that correct. Tell us where you're from.
Ankan Ma'at to you.
We're PJ out in Houston, Texas.
Ankan Ma'at. Ankan Ma'at.
Titans TV out in the UK.
Oh, Titans TV, how are you doing? Please tell us exactly who it is from Titans TV. They've come here, they've been here and sat down right in this space and spoken with us. I hope all is well out there in the UK.
So Caleb Bryson out in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Ankan Ma'at.
Atan Amun Ra. Who says congratulations to Win-Win.
Senatan, you said?
Yes.
Yes, out in the Windy City. One of our full members. Ankan Ma'at to you.
Heru Jahuti Pata Umika Temra.
Ankan Ma'at, who is in Texas?
I'm not sure.
He's one of our full members, and I always mess up where he's from because when he came through, he had his birth name, and then he's in California, right? He's in California. That's right. And from his time here and through his walk, he's changed his name, and I always confuse him with other people. I know who you are, and let me say Ankan Ma'at to you.
PJ says they've been with us for 5 years.
Ankan Ma'at.
There's Robert Bunag from Daly City, California, near San Francisco.
Ankan Ma'at, a name we've heard a few times.
And
welcome.
He says Ankan Ma'at from his girlfriend in Los Altos, California, near San Jose.
Ankan Ma'at.
There's Brandon Moore out in Indiana.
One of our full members, Ankan Ma'at. Ankan Ma'at, a world traveler. Where you been recently, Brandon? Let us know. Send Brandon.
That wonderful couple, the Schaefers, is here with us.
Ankan Ma'at, the Schaefers are here, coming to us from Kemet. Ankan Ma'at.
Okay. Son Jason Holmes.
Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah.
Ankan Ma'at. Ankan Ma'at, one of our full members. Ankan Ma'at, son Jason.
Yes, and Harold Jahuti says Oakland, California.
Oakland, California. You see how I always think that he's in Texas? Harold Jahuti, were you in Texas? How did I get in my head? Is it just I have some stuff
a lot of people from Texas
bouncing around in my head? Ankan Ma'at.
We have Jaman out in East London, so from 2019.
Ankan Ma'at to you.
Shuma, tell us where you're from. Oh, so there's Hero Assar Ankh Amun Ra, who's from Dallas, Texas.
That's what it is. See? See, and I confused the two names.
4 years.
But the Umik Temra is our full initiate, who came here for initiation. It's not like I don't know him. I just confused his name. Ankin Ma'at.
There's Shane the Watcher, 616.
Ankin Ma'at to you. You know I want to talk to you about
And
the
he just said
Marvels.
Loki season finally was.
Listen, Loki season was fire. It was fire. Listen.
I got to catch up.
And in some ways connects to some of what we talk about, right? So listen, it was amazing. I was like, is this Loki or is this Jehuti? Really, his journey was very interesting. Anyway, Ankin Ma'at to you, and I know I want to chat with you about it too.
Your brother Yusuf in the house.
Brother Youssef, Ankin Ma'at to you. He's not always on our broadcast,
Yeah, he's not.
but we talk all the time. He and I are always on WhatsApp going back and forth.
We call.
Yeah, Ankin Ma'at to you. Ankin Ma'at, we're so glad that you're there. My dear brother, Ankin Ma'at.
And heard Jehuti puts out me that says correction with us for 4 years.
4 years, Ankin Ma'at, wonderful.
We have Taya OM. Tell us where you're from.
Ankin Ma'at.
Simone Reed. Tell us where you're from. We have Sinette Kenya and Sen Larry with us.
Ankin Ma'at from Jersey. Ankin Ma'at. 2 full members of the shrine. Ankin Ma'at. I hope your princesses are doing well.
Melanated Wisdom from the Shamsu Ma'at. 23.
Now, melanated, I'm not going to remember exactly what the name I know melanated wisdom is from, but Sinette Melanated Wisdom, Ankin Ma'at to you, because I don't want to mess up your name, but I think I remember who you are.
With Kimberly Blue back with us. Tell us where you're from.
Ankin Ma'at to you.
Taya OM says, shout out to Brother Amis.
Ankin Ma'at. Do you know who that is?
I kind of, yes.
Good. Ankin Ma'at. Ankin Ma'at. Yeah, because your peoples, listen, some of y'all peoples should be in there, right? Ankin Ma'at.
We have our Jati out in the venue.
Ankin Ma'at to send Tehuti Forever, also known as William Humphrey. Ankin Ma'at, Ankin Ma'at. By the way, just as just happened, if you are here to see these individuals who have made this commitment come full circle and finish their process, you should go ahead and give them a shout out. Give them a shout out so we know that you're watching. Ankin Ma'at.
We have Jaheen Ray, Shamsu Ma'at.
Ankin Ma'at, Ankin Ma'at, one of our recent full members. Wonderful that you're there.
We have Ron Green from Alton, Illinois.
Ankin Ma'at. Is that?
Kent Keys.
Yes.
To remind us where you're from, Kent.
Ken Keys is from far away. I'm trying to remember where. Ankin Ma'at to you.
We have Shalea Houston Roberts. I hope I said that correctly. Welcome to you. Tell us where you're from. Etienne Brown Heron. Hope I said that correctly. Tell us where you're from.
Ankin Ma'at, Ankin Ma'at.
We have Atum Montu. Tell us where you are from. Also known as Davion Atum Music. Oh, you sent us music before. I remember you. Welcome. We have DC Samisi Naka.
And his queen, Sister Deloise. Ankin Ma'at, Ankin Ma'at. 2 of our full members.
There's Sen Alex online. Hardeman.
Ankin Ma'at. Send Alex. Alex, our full member. Ankin Ma'at to you.
We have Elante Williams. Hope I said that correctly. Tell us where you're from.
Ankin Ma'at.
Let's see. Gaston Bryan out in Arizona.
Ankin Ma'at doing some stuff out there in Bennu, Phoenix. Ankin Ma'at.
Jehutimas Ma'at Hotep from Canada.
Ankin Ma'at.
Been a
We're in
member of the
Canada.
Shrine for 3 years, 8 months. Class of Rock Hashem.
Oh.
Hashem.
Oh, so wait, in Canada?
Mhm.
Is that a different name? Tell us what name you're known as. I'm almost trying to say Ankin Ma'at. Ankin Ma'at. Because I think we only have 1 member in Canada, I think. Ontario, if I remember correctly. And if you are who I think you are you still in military service? Ankin Ma'at to you. Did you see someone? Oh, okay.
the unks. We don't normally.
We're
hear
not
other
usually
unks.
hearing sounds in here anymore. Ankh and Ma'at.
We have Africa First from New Orleans.
That's an amazing name, by the way. Ankh and Ma'at.
Mhm.
Simple and to the point.
Let's see, Sen Gavin is here with us.
Ankh and Ma'at, our full member out in the DMV. How are you doing, dear brother? How's your family?
We have Kemetic Gnostic out in DC.
We've heard that name a few times. Ankh and Ma'at to you. I like that name, by the way. It's very interesting.
We have Sinette Sakina Ra out in Grand Forks, North Dakota.
Ankh and Ma'at, an active member. Ankh and Ma'at to you, Sinette.
Obalafia is in Ohio, originally from New York City.
Ankh and Ma'at.
And Kimberly Blue is from DMV with us from March 2023.
Ankh and Ma'at, Ankh and Ma'at.
We have Johnny Parker here. Tell us where you're from. We have Question Me from Alabama.
Question me is our full member. Ankh and Ma'at to you. Sen Lee.
Yes, and you did spell it right. Thank you. We have Ashley Amara out in Houston.
Ankh and Ma'at to you. I hope Houston is going as beautiful as I hoped it would. She was in Vegas for a while. Ankh and Ma'at to you, Sinette.
We have Willie Tolles. Tell us where you're from.
Ankh and Ma'at, Ankh and Ma'at.
Sen M is here with us.
Ankh and Ma'at, Ankh and Ma'at.
Common Side FX Best from Oahu, Hawaii. Sending aloha.
That might be further away from the UK. Is Hawaii further away from the UK? I think it is. In terms of flight, right?
Yeah.
Because the UK is like, yeah, UK is like 7 hours to UK. I think that's the furthest place. Yeah, I think so. Ankh and Ma'at.
Carl Collins from Tulsa.
Ankh and Ma'at to you.
Melody Wisdom is Sinette Shanika.
That's right. Ankh and Ma'at. See, I didn't want to mess it up. Ankh and Ma'at. Yes, that's you. Ankh and Ma'at, Sinette.
We have Paya Israel from Portland, Oregon.
Ankh and
Shout out
Ma'at.
to Jamar.
There we go. Shout out for Jamar, Ankh and Ma'at.
Oh, there's lots of shout outs.
There's probably all the lighthouses up in this heavy today.
Shout out to Lighthouse family.
That's right. Shout out to the lighthouse. And of course, shout out to the African village, who I'm sure is up there heavy too.
Let's see.
Is that a lot?
We have Shalea is from Washington State.
Ankh and Ma'at. There's more shout outs than normal.
Yeah. Johnny Parker is from New York.
Ankh and Ma'at. Okay, let's just do the shout outs though, so we
Oh
can.
no, I'm still telling where people are from.
I know.
There's some Society Commentary
Yes.
from Arizona.
Ankh and Ma'at to you.
Anjay Bryant is here with us.
Ankh and Ma'at. Ankh and Ma'at, our full member. Ankh and Ma'at.
Bill Andrew Rogers from Georgetown, Guyana.
Wonderful. And I always ask, are you in Georgetown or are you from Georgetown? Ankh and Ma'at. Somehow I think Hawaii is still further than Guyana. Isn't that interesting?
Mhm.
In terms of the actual as far as the crow flies.
Mhm.
Hawaii is far. It's a 10-hour flight. That's like going to West Africa.
Crazy.
Yeah. We don't think of it that way because Hawaii is part of the United States, but it's a long distance.
Yeah, they could get it done.
Ghana might be about we almost never go to Ghana directly, but when we go, we've been to I don't remember how long the flight is though.
It's 10 hours to Egypt, and we go from Ghana to Egypt.
It's 7 hours from there.
Egypt to Ghana. It's 6 hours.
Yeah.
From Ghana to the United States.
It's gotta be around 10 hours,
Mhm.
if maybe 11. I think it's shorter than going to Kemet.
It should
Not
be.
by much,
Not by much, no.
because you're going at an angle.
It's still about 10, let's say 10 hours. It'll be too technical. But just imagine getting to the continent by plane is almost the same distance as going to Alaska by plane. It's a distance. Alaska, Hawaii
Mhm.
by plane.
Yes.
We have Maka Kwayedza, who's in the East Village, downtown Manhattan.
Ankh and Ma'at to you. East Village, that's right around here.
Mhm. Orisha Baheteru. So that's from where you're from.
Isn't that Ankh and Ma'at from Philly? Our full member. Ankh and Ma'at to you. Isn't that Ankh and Ma'at?
I never know all of the names.
That's a new name. That's a new name. That's a new
The
name.
screen names versus.
Right. Ankh and Ma'at.
Afromantic from Cali.
Ankh and Ma'at.
Question Me says not a full member, frequent visitor.
Oh, I thought Question Me was Sen Lee and no, Ankh and Ma'at to you.
We have Love Peace. Tell us where you're from. Welcome. Bill Rogers says he's in Guyana.
Wow.
We have Sinette Cortia, full member.
In the ATL, Ankh and Ma'at to you, full member in the ATL.
Oh, Love Peace is Essence Divine from Waterbury, Connecticut.
Oh, Ankh and Ma'at, our full member from our last initiatory class.
I'm hearing that Baba Heru Ankara Samaj Sekata is online.
Ankh and Ma'at, you're hearing or he is online?
Well, he may be on YouTube because I'm seeing someone welcome him.
Oh, Ankh and Ma'at to you. Ankh and Ma'at to Baba Heru. We really are honored that you come, our elder, the elder of the shrine, the person whose walk has allowed us to be in the Kemetic tradition. Ankh and Ma'at.
I made it. Oh, and Debbie. Oh, I think this is spam.
Ankh and Ma'at to you. Ankh and Ma'at to you all. Dua to you all. There are a lot of people online, so it took a little while to greet you all, as opposed to our normal greeting. Ankh and Ma'at to you all. We're so pleased that you come to join us. We know that there's so many other things you could be doing. I know in New York City it's a sunny Sunday. There's so many other things you could be doing, so we're honored that you've come here. We know that the reason why you're here is because you hear the echo. You hear the call of African spirituality, that you are trying, like us, to approach the traditions of our fair ancestors, those individuals who continue to connect themselves to the divine through the most difficult trials and tribulations that humanity has ever faced. And so this really does mean something, that you are here when everyone thought there's no way you could be. That is so important to acknowledge, that being an adherent to African spirituality in the modern age ain't easy. Maybe a little easier than it was 100 years ago, but still ain't easy. So I still want to say to you that we honor you and your walk as well. With that, can we go ahead and begin our gathering the way we always do, with the opening of the way? Anika's busy back there. You should see her face. She typing. Now listen, I don't know how, with the camera in the middle of the room, we're going to all stand and do the opening of the way. Does someone want to do the opening of the way instead of Anika and I doing it? Would someone like to come up and do it?
Y'all sound excited. People are always nervous when there's a camera.
Yes. It's different when everyone's watching you do the opening way. It's not the same thing as when you do it on your own, right?
So I'm gonna. Oh, okay. You're doing it. Okay, wonderful.
Come forward, please. We have Hemnetter Kepara coming here to do the opening of the way, and of course the camera came in. It's following me. Stay here.
Ankh and Ma'at, family, welcome. So we're gonna do the opening of the way. That ritual that we received from Baba Heru Ankara Samaj Sekata, out of Kera Pata, the Shrine of Pata. And it's one of the main rituals that we do here at the Shrine of Ma'at. So I'm going to begin by standing in the pose of adoration, a pose that you see so many times on the walls in Kemet. Left foot forward, right foot slightly back. Left hand slightly raised, right hand a little lower. And we'll begin by chanting that sacred word, Ankh. Anesharaken bethet.
Anesharaken bethet.
Nuke en bethet.
Nuke en bethet.
Anesharak happy.
Anesharak happy.
Nuke happy.
Nuke happy.
Tuau winter.
Tuau winter.
Make a turn to the right. Anasharak circuit.
Anasharak circuit.
Nuke circuit.
Nuke circuit.
Anasharak kebsenuf.
Anasharak kebsenuf.
Nuke kebsenuf.
Nuke kebsenuf.
Tuau winter.
Tuau winter.
Make a turn to the right. Anasharak ast.
Anasharak ast.
Nuke ast.
Nuke ast.
Anasharak amset.
Anasharak amset.
Nuke amset.
Nuke amset.
Tuau winter.
Tuau winter.
Make your turn to the right. Anasharak neat.
Anasharak neat.
Nuke neat.
Nuke neat.
Anasharak duamutef.
Anasharak duamutef.
Nuke duamutef.
Nuke duamutef.
Tuau winter.
Tuau winter.
Make a turn to the right. Anasharak newt.
Anasharak newt.
Nuke newt.
Nuke newt.
Anasharak geb.
Anasharak geb.
Nuke geb.
Nuke geb.
Tuau winter.
Tuau winter.
Anasharak shoe.
Anasharak shoe.
Make a turn to the right.
Shoe. 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 Shoe.
Nuke shoe. Anasharak tef newt.
Anasharak tef newt. Tef newt. Tef newt. Tef newt. Tef newt. Nuke tef newt.
Tuau
winter.
Anasharak paut neteru.
Anasharak paut neteru.
Nuke paut neteru.
Nuke paut neteru.
Anasharak enbu neteru.
Anasharak enbu neteru.
Nuke enbu neteru.
Nuke enbu neteru.
Tuau winter.
Tuau winter.
Tuau winter.
Dwa winter. Dwa, dwa, dwa. Dwa, dwa, dwa. We are always honored when, come on, robotic camera, follow me. We're always honored when when we do the opening of the way with us, and particularly also, I should say, when we have Hemnetter Kepra do it with us. He does it in such a musical, harmonious way, and so we say dua to him for doing it for us again. Now, of course, for those of you who said, I've never heard him do that before, is that because you don't actually join us online when we are at the Tech-In? He's done it at the Tech-In many times. So if you haven't heard him do it, where you been? That's the only question we can ask. Ankin Ma'at to you all, and I'm glad that you've done it with us. Remember, the opening of the way is a ceremony that reminds us just how powerful we are. Don't you need a dose of power every day? Going out and fighting in these streets?
Absolutely.
Have you ever left your house to go to work and been on the train, in the car, on the bus, and saying to yourself, why do I have to do this again? This is terrible. Have you ever been that person? You're at home, so you could admit it. You could say it out loud because your family already knows how you feel. Just admit that you have gone to work and said, why am I doing this? This is horrible. And you know, you have family, you got bills, you have responsibilities, right? Wouldn't it be amazing for you to draw into a wellspring of infinite power in order for you to do those things you need to do on a daily basis? That is what the opening of the way reminds us of. This is the chief spiritual ritual that comes in our lineage from the shrine of Ptah. The ritual that was put into its current configuration by our elder, Baba Heru Ankh Ra Samaj Se Ptah. And he did this so that you would know that you are an infinite being, imbued with infinite power. So that all of those things that trouble you, that beguile you on the entire day, on the entire week, on your entire month, your entire year, are beneath you. But if you think that they are more than you, bigger than you, you feel like you're in a losing battle every day. I know we've all felt that way. Do the opening of the day whenever you do anything important. And we say each day is clearly important. When you rise, you should do the opening of the way. It will remind you that nothing that is going to trouble you is anything that you cannot surmount. So please remember to do the opening of the way. This is not theater. You aren't just supposed to watch us do it, okay? Do it so that you know how to do it, so that when you rise, you are prepared. You have your spiritual armor and you have filled your spiritual tank so that you can do what you need to do. Anika.
So Atanamara said the opening away hit different when it's in a group.
Yes, it does. Yes. Yes.
Huti Ptah Umika Tamra said at the beginning, Ankh, his front door blew open. And at the ending, Ankh, the back door blew open.
Said what the what? Listen, it's powerful. It will get you charged. Get yourself charged. I'm going to say to you, when you do an Ankh and you are in harmony with the other people around you, something different happens. Something different happens. Now listen, I know that you have probably been a singular practitioner in your life. I know the reason why you're here, the reason why each of these people in the room are here, is because they have probably felt like the weird one. When everybody else was going in the same direction, you said, no, there's something else calling me. And you may have even said to them, isn't it calling you? How come you don't hear it? So you have probably been on your own. I'm telling you, I know that you have been. I've been in that time. This is around that time of the year where I'm going to be reminded. Go to a family gathering. I had one family member. Now listen, when my family gathers for Christmas, I go. Not because I celebrate Christmas. I definitely do not. But if my family is there, I'm going to be with my family. And they know already that I have mellowed. I'm not the same revolutionary Kemetic that I was in the beginning that would try to destroy their gathering, right? I would literally try to sabotage all of their gatherings. I don't do that anymore. I say, why am I beating up the people that love me? So I go. But I have one family member that is still convinced that I'm returning to the church. So a few years ago, I walk in and I say, how are you? And she says, Merry Christmas. I said, Merry Christmas to you. She holds my hand. She says, no, Merry Christmas. I said, wait, didn't I just say Merry Christmas? I said, Merry Christmas to you. She's still holding my hand. Merry Christmas. Like she's going to say an incantation. I'm going to go, oh. You know what I mean? You know you're going to experience that this time of the year. You're going to be that person that is, you know, one of these kids is doing his own thing. One of these kids is not the same. That's going to be you. And it's a powerful thing to hear the voice of your ancestors and follow it when no one else around you wants to acknowledge that they're hearing the voice, because they do hear it too. They do hear it too. But when we gather together, there's a different power because we are not alone. And the more of us who gather together, the more of us who do this together, will recognize that it is possible for us to return to the source, particularly for people of African descent. It is possible for us to practice the traditions of our ancestors once more. The traditions of other people are not better, are not more worthy, are not the modern traditions of what we're doing is something that's ancient and should be discarded. In fact, their traditions are a poor copy of our traditions. Don't you want to return to the source? Do this with us. So I'm so pleased that you've done the opening of the way. If there's some of you who are relatively new and said, Brother Jabari keeps telling me to open the way, I don't know how to. Yes, you do. Didn't you see that you're on a page that has videos of us doing it every week for like many, many years? I can't remember how many years now. Just watch it and do it with us. You will learn it. Okay, you will learn it and do this ceremony with us. And we want to say dua. If Baba is still in the room, we want to say dua to him for giving us something that connects us directly to the ancient traditions. This is important. Do it every day. Okay, that's my rant on the opening of the way. Can I get on a rant on the opening of the way? I really do think it's important for you to do it. Okay, and by the way, you better know how to do it, because just like Hemneta Kepra, you may have to do it in front of people. You don't know when. There are other people who are hungering for our traditions. You have to show it to them. They're hungry. They're hungry for returning. You have to be a beacon that allows them to do such. So, with that, I think we should go into Hessie. Because I'm trying to stall a little bit because I see her typing frantically. She's trying to respond to you all. And that's not always easy to do from behind the scenes. But let me just ask in the room first, what is Hessie? What's Hessie?
Empowerment, words of empowerment, devotion, acknowledging those external energies that were misconstrued into other names. Or if you want to be scientific about it, it's wind, air, water, it's the ancestors, it's all those things, the divine. Those are the things that we would incorporate in our Hessies to remind ourselves that everything was duality and it was even. It was not one without the other. It was not separated. So in other traditions in the world, especially Western, they look at water as just being water or H2O. And we combine both of those in our spirituality. So when we acknowledge these things in our Hessies, we acknowledge Halloween was a tradition where they feared their ancestors coming back. We welcome them back.
That's right.
We want them in the house.
That's right.
They can knock over a plant, move a door.
That's right.
All they want to.
You're like, Uncle Bobby? You know what I mean? We're not afraid. We're like, you here, really? Come have a beer, right?
Yes.
Yes.
We set up a ceremony altar.
That's right.
And put food and drink.
Yes.
Because that is to never let them ever be forgotten.
That's right. Yeah.
In our traditions, we don't. Every time you mention an ancestor, one who has transitioned over, you keep them alive. You also resonate those energies in you because you carry of the DNA and the compositions of your great-great-grandparents. And so when you speak and do these things, you resonate that energy with you. My father just transitioned. He was a teacher. I never thought I would be a teacher, but here I am. And that I know that manifestation of his energy will move forward in me now.
We never got to do this in public. Tell us your father's name again.
Robert Daniel Stone.
Robert Daniel Stone. We are asking for Robert Daniel Stone to have successfully made his journey on the boat of Ra. We are asking that this sacred ancestor, completely illuminated in divine light, to make his presence known to his descendants, to his family, to all of those individuals who knew him and love him, and all of those individuals who have yet to know him. We know that death does not destroy us, and we want to say dua, 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 to the Neteru for successfully allowing his journey into the afterlife. And we ask primarily for his family to have the ability to have the divine balance to hear him when he calls. And so we say Twanter, Twanter, Twanter. We didn't get to do that publicly. We did it privately. I did it, we lit a candle for him, even though, we did it privately. But we want to just say dua to him and recognize that he's made his journey. Wonderful. So, which, did you want to say something, Anika? I'm sorry.
Sure. Senator Amun Ross says Abu Jamar should do a live Hessie.
Oh!
Here we go. Here we go. I'll provide the
Does he get on you like that?
Who said that? Who said that?
Senator. Look at that. When you're known for something, people always want you to do it. You know what I mean? I'm telling you. Oh my goodness.
Salute, pull out the flute.
That's how it is, right? That's how it is.
And we have a boot rally in the house.
Oh wow! Oh! Ankan Ma'at Boot Roeda, my sister from the Shrine of Ptah, doing work in the Temple of Anu. Ankan Ma'at to you, sister. I'm glad that you're on there. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So what are we gonna do? We want to do something in here, or you want to do something in there?
It's up to you. I have it queued. So
You have it queued? Okay. So
people can go along with it if they like.
yeah. Well, it's hard to do it online and here at the same time, but why don't you go ahead? We'll go with the Hessie from the Schaefers for now, because we're not gonna put no one on the line. Oh really?
Oh, she really trying to get you.
She really is. She really is. Is there a Hessie in the room that you all want to do?
He was in me, I'm looking at him.
I'm smiling today because the Hessie that you're gonna have do with the Schaefers was a Hessie I was thinking I would do if we did a Hessie today.
Okay.
So it's all beautiful.
Oh no,
The
we're
Schaefers-
not doing that recording if you want to do something live. You're trying to slide, and just like the body camera, the spotlight followed him, right? You know what I mean?
I'm gonna do this Hessie because it's something that brings me joy. I mean, the Schaefers have done it most beautifully. That's all right, because that's what I do.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
He's one of our Hessie masters.
I do Hessie, and I cherish Hessie. It's very important. I don't speak about it too much, but it's a wonderful practice to do. We call forth our words of power, sacred words of power, the Meduneter, words of divine, which our ancestors left on the walls in Kemetic. Words for us to consider so deeply, like Baba Haru tells us, call forth those sacred sounds. Intone those sounds. Those sounds, they have just a wonderful effect on your body. I was listening to Brother Amos when he was talking about the water and the elements. When we deal with sound, we are dealing with energy. So those energies affect us on so many different levels. We will call them the Aritu. Some in the East will call them chakras, but nonetheless, we do Hessie and I'll be brief, to center ourselves and to bring peace into our lives. That's one of the ways that we can use Hessie. We can use Hessie to empower ourselves. So just what Abu Hemneta Amos said is right on point. So I had overheard Hemneta Anika say that she was going to do the Assar Hessie with the Schaefers, and that was the Hessie that I had in mind to do. This is the Hessie created by you and Hemneta Jabari. So I'm gonna give it a go. And the Hessie, and I want to make sure I stay right on it. And this is how we did it with Abu Mahert, Abu Waseret. And I hope I didn't leave anyone out. If I did, don't beat me up. But anyway, this is the Hessie. Iawu, 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 Assar Neferu. Iawu, 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 Assar Neferu. Iawu, 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 Assar Neferu. Assar, 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 Yahoo, Assar, 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 Assar,
Do your Hessie wherever you are. You know, you can do Hessie any place. You can do it as you're on the train. You know, you can do it while you're cooking your food. You can just do it in so many places. It's just a wonderful and beautiful practice to center yourself and ground yourself and ground yourself in your sacred words of power. Tuau and Terabek.
Wasn't that better than playing you a video today? You get the video or listen to it every week, and that's amazing. So today is a special day. So it's wonderful that you had an opportunity to hear it live. And you can purchase it. I'm going to tell you, the version that the Schaefers did is amazing. So please go ahead. You can purchase it online, and you can listen to it on virtually every streaming platform. And so it's really powerful. If you're not familiar with the tones and the chants, they do it amazingly. When you listen to the way they did it, it sounds like they had a whole studio behind them. They know what they're doing. And definitely when you hear one of our Hessie masters come forward and do it live, you definitely hear the mastery, the tonality. Anika and I might have written it, but the one thing that the Neteru did not give me is a tune. So isn't it amazing to hear Hamnetta Kemper do it rather than me do it, right? So sometimes I'm doing up here, Anika's doing this. You don't see that. She's like, I don't know what you're doing, but that's not the Hessie, right? So it's better when you have someone talented like one of our Hessie masters come forward and give it to you. So it's amazing. And yes.
We have the Kemetic families like giving shout outs to each other. So Sheb Suharu, Sheb Ma'at, you know, Rakash Seshen, they're all in the house like, yeah, we're the best line.
For those of you who don't know what the heck is going on, that's because you should have been initiated. Anyway, understand that every initiatory group, every initiatory cohort has a name. And so they shout each other out. That's what you're seeing there, right? They get close during their process. And so they want to celebrate how close they are. Another word about the Hessie really quickly. I want you to recognize that what we were singing is Iau, 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 Assar, Neferu. So does anyone remember what that means? What does it mean? You want to? Yeah, go ahead. You can share.
Assar, saying Assar, the most, the perfect, the beautiful one.
Praise.
Right, there we go.
Praise. Iau, Iau. Praise to Assar, the perfect. As you were saying, yes, the perfect. At the end, you say Iau, 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 Assar, Neferu, that is Assar the perfect. And then we do that a few times. Then you hear Di Isa Neteru is give me divine protection. And then you hear us say Assar, 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 which is like the great. Assar, 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 the great. And so that's our Assar Hessie. And what are you gonna say? What are you gonna say?
Break down Assar for us.
You want to talk about Assar?
Yes.
Go ahead. Let's tell us about Assar.
Do
You want to say it?
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, you can say it.
To our family. The principle of Assar, most of you might have heard it through its Greek pronunciation of Osiris. But if you studied and read any of some of our greatest teachers, Ivor Van Sertima, Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark, who have wrote many books on Africa, and especially the ancient Kemetic civilization, you understand that they had a spiritual conception, and that the divine principle was also part of yourself. And so you was on your journey through life, as you progress through life, everything that you did through life was to help you get to that perfection, that zero-ness, to help you ascend. And one of the stories which has been put forth in Christianity, as you might have heard of Assar, Assar, and Haru. And Assar, after he had gained much wisdom, he decided to go forth into the world. And so in his absence, his mate, Aset, came forth, and she led, and it was and then in the while they were away, the brother, that principle, rose up against and took control, and so when Assar came back, he was confronted by them and murdered and broken down. So the principle of Assar has different meanings and different aspects. It's astrological, it's internal, it also deals with farming, the land. And so they incorporated, like I said before, it was no separation from the divine in oneself. So we recognized all that. So perfection is where you want it to come. And so you would say, well, if you look at one of how would you say that word? I want to say it properly. But anyway, on the temple walls, as you look at one of the images of this, you see Haru, his son, who leads you, the initiate, forward to meet his father, Assar. But in actuality, it is your higher self greeting your zero, your higher principle. And have you balanced out your life while here on earth? On your journey, on your many journeys, the aspects of the things that you do. And so that's why we say perfection, because we looked at it as everyone wanted to obtain the principle of Assar, because that was the highest aspect of yourself. The highest aspect of yourself. And also for us, that help us get to the higher principle of self, we call upon Haru. Now, Haru is a way of looking at the Christ principle, or the Christ principle, which has been around much longer than it was associated with the person we now call Jesus or Yeshua. That principle has been spread out all over the planets, different names and different cultures, India, China, Persians, all that. It was that principle of the warrior, the one that uplifted himself and followed the teachings to honor thy mother and thy father, so thy days may be long upon this earth. and battle that principle of what we call set negative energy. Now, we didn't say that negative energy does not exist. It doesn't manifest itself, but you were supposed to be in control of it, like anger, other things, selfishness, these things that we all have, but you need to put them and have them in check, and you bring them forth, but you have control over it. It does not have control over you. So that is a little bit of what when we talk about in the perfection of Assar.
Dua. Now, clearly, he could have talked about Assar for 4 hours, right? Honestly, there's a lot about Assar. Just think that if a Christian was going to talk about Jesus, they could talk forever. And Jesus has been important to Christians and to the modern world for 2,000 years. Well, Assar was important for more than twice that time. Just think about that. I'm being conservative, right?
Yeah.
At least we're talking about at least 4,000 years. At least 4,000 years. Assar is of critical importance. I'm being conservative. But recognize that that story is much longer. That story was traveled. And in fact, if you had said to someone 2,000 years ago, that you were talking about a deity who was murdered and then resurrected so we could all be saved, chances are they would say to you that you were talking about Assar. Now, 2,000 years ago, they might have used a few different names because the concept of Assar had become diffuse at the beginning of the Common Era. Maybe they would have said Dionysus. The practitioners of Dionysus said that that was Assar. Maybe they would have said that you were talking about all of the other. Attis is another one that you might have heard. All of these names are names that came from Assar. Certainly 2,000 years ago, they probably would not have said Jesus. That was when that tradition was nascent. So I want you to understand that the concept of dying and resurrecting, the very symbol that death does not destroy us, is Assar. And so that is of critical importance. So dua to Hemneter Ames for describing just a bit about that. And it is of critical importance. Please do your research so that you're aware of how important this is. So at this point, rather than going into what I would normally do, which would be the word from the Sebaid, I want to just go ahead and recognize the incredible individuals that we have here. We have 5 of the Wenwet here, 5 of those individuals who have completed their process and are now full. Let me use some words, Western words first, and then use our words, just so you understand what I'm saying for those of you who are relatively new. They are fully ordained by the Shrine of Ma'at. Let's put it that way. They are priests of the Shrine of Ma'at. They are leaders of the Shrine of Ma'at. They have the title Hemneter. Hemneter means divine servant. Hem looks like a bat. I don't know if you knew that. Hem looks like a bat. Some people say that it was used to beat clothes, to wash, right? So Hemneter, they are divine servants. And so this is of critical importance that they have gotten to this stage. The end of their training happened unceremoniously. We ended in December and we said, what are we going to do a celebration? Well, it's all the way almost a year later, and now we're finally celebrating them. So I want you to recognize that we are this weekend truly acknowledging that they've completed their process. We had our private ceremony yesterday, and today we want to publicly exclaim that these individuals have really been committed for 3 years to do the work that they were supposed to do. So with that, we're going to ask them to come forward. And as we do that, you are going to see us do just a little bit. The stuff that we did yesterday, you ain't gonna see, right? It's for people who are prepared to see. But this is our public ceremony that celebrates them. We are going to purify them. We're going to ask them to state a charge, and we're going to acknowledge publicly that they are the leaders of our community's Assarian resurrection. That is why it's so important for us to have done the Assar Hessie today. Because as I said, when we think of resurrection, it is appropriate for us to think of Assar. So let us begin with purification. And as we purify, what we are really doing is we are preparing for important work. That's what purification is, right? Purification is for you to remove those things that are not necessary for the next leg of the journey. The leg of the journey that is meant to assist you in becoming what you must become and doing what you must do. And as these divine servants come forward before you, we are purifying them for the rest of their work. That is what we are doing. So we are asking for them to come forward for divine purification. Please step forward, the 5 of you. We'll have you aligned up there. You know our space is a little small. Yes. My aunt, Merkut, and in that vessel. I'll grab the water from you, I'm sorry. You got it? So first you're going to hear us say a very simple phrase. It will have more relevance to them than it may to some of you at home, but that's fine. You're going to hear us say Nukwab, Nukwab, and the other phrase is Nuknefer. So let's do that. Let's have you clasp your hands in front of you in the manner that we are meant to. Nukwab, Nuknefer, Nukwab, Nuknefer, Nukwab, Nuknefer.
Nukwa, Nuknefer, Nukwa, Nuknefer, Nukwa, Nuknefer.
Wow, to Assar. Wow, never.
Nukwab, Nefer, Nukwab, Nefer. Nukwab, Nefer,
igual Kemetic.
From here, we ask that you speak your name aloud. We're going to call on you to speak your name aloud, and then after you each speak your name, we're going to ask you to say an oath, which reminds us, it's a good thing I noticed that, which reminds us of your charge, the things that you are meant to do as a Hemnetter. It's of critical importance for us to remember that the role of Abut, a role of the Hemnetter or Hemet Netter, is a critical one. It is a role that is as much for you as it is for others. That's the reason why you are called divine servant. Certainly there are things that you receive, respect of your community, a deeper connection to the divine, and a connection to the ancestors that others who are not in the tradition are not able to receive. But perhaps the most important thing that you will be doing is you will be doing for others. And so we will ask you to speak your name. And as you speak your name, we will recognize that you have entered your name on the divine rolls of those who are the divine servants.
Ka sekame tuhuti ka jijoke zafunai para.
Ames Ukuti Ma'at Aminra.
Hemnetter Wazir.
Hemnetter Kepera.
Hemnetter Reniabu Makeru.
And can we speak the names of those members of the Wenwet who were not able to be here? We say, can we ask each of you to say, now I know there are only 4 who are missing, but can we please ask you to say their names because you are standing for them. You are not just here for yourself, but you are here for those other 4 who really wanted to be here, but could not be here. So please let us hear.
Abu Tuwasaret. Abu Kar Rodman.
Abut Sashat.
Abut Mahert.
Yeah.
He's like, wait, am I forgetting somebody? No, 4. Because you know he would hear it later. You didn't say my name. We got all 4 of them. And so we want to recognize that while they are not here in person, we are not people who are only in existence in person. These are individuals who recognize that the world is larger than what we are able to physically represent. That in fact, the world is spirit. And so that we know that they are here in spiritual form. So with that, we ask for you. Can we receive the feather? Before you actually are asked to repeat words that really signify your commitment to the tradition, we ask for you to hold the feather. There is nothing that you need to say publicly at this time. Hold it for a moment and remind yourself while you are doing this.
May I speak my truth?
You can if you'd like.
This represents a symbol of Ma'at, feather of truth, balance, righteousness, balance, and order. I am charging myself as not only as a hymnetter, but also an elder, not only in the shrine, but in public, that I will do the best of my ability, because we always growing and learning. It's not in everything. To the best of my ability and my charge to give you the best of me. Wow.
As I hold this feather, representing my heart, truth, justice, righteousness, balance, harmony, reciprocity, and divine right order, I look forward to becoming a servant to my people, to my African people, to the Shrine of Ma'at, and also as the lead minister in the African village, and to all people that I cross on my journey. I say, Dua Nada. Dua.
Duanta.
Before we ask you to repeat your charge, Anika, is there anything you'd like to say to him? I've been speaking a lot. I'm sure there's something that you'd like to say.
Sure. This has been a long journey, and it's just beginning. And I hope you all realize that being a hymnetter is a challenge. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of responsibility, a lot of expectations from a lot of people who are not aware of what you do on a daily basis, and even the fact that you have your own lives.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of times people assume that you're perfect. They assume that you know all, and they're going to expect things from you that they shouldn't expect. And I'm saying this publicly because some of you might be the ones challenging our newly appointed with some things that they may not be able to offer. And I want to remind you that they are people, they are human. They do have their own lives that they must attend to, their own families they must tend to. But in doing so, they are taking on the additional and added responsibility of adding you to their family, to be able to provide for you, to be able to give you the guidance that you may be seeking, and also recognize that they may be learning from you as well. As priests, we are not perfect. We don't know all. We learn from our interactions from others. We continue to grow. We continue to seek knowledge. And if you don't, then you're not doing what you're supposed to do as a priest. So I just implore you to take time for yourselves. Be good to yourselves, be kind to yourselves, because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of others. And that's something that I have become more aware of as time has gone on, that you have to really dig deep, go within, and make sure that you are healing yourself, so in order to be able to heal others. So I welcome you on this journey. I'm here for you. So if there's anything that challenges you in the process, I will do my best to help you through that. And I hope the people that you will be serving will give grace and recognize that we will do our best at all times.
Dua, 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 dua. Please repeat after me. I hereby proclaim to all of those individuals assembled, to all those individuals watching, to the ancestors, and to the Neteru, that I will retain my commitment to Ma'at, that I will be a beacon of balance, I will ensure that I will bring light and healing to all those around me.
I will ensure that I will bring light and healing to all those around me.
I will assist with the growth of the Shrine of Ma'at.
I will assist with the growth of the Shrine of Ma'at.
And that I will be an element of Assarian resurrection for my people.
And that I will be an element of Assar resurrection for my people.
Twanter,
Twanter,
Twawinter.
Twanter.
I want to acknowledge that these individuals have done what are necessary. Let's give them a hand. Come on now. Celebrate them. It ain't easy. This is not easy. I want to recognize them, and I want to recognize the 4 individuals who are not able to be here, that they made this commitment, followed the pathway for 3 long years, and did what they needed to do, even as we are always reminded in the most difficult situation imaginable. When we started, we thought we'd be together and we'd be able to spend time together and laugh together. Then all of a sudden, a global pandemic hit. We didn't say we're going to put it on pause.
That's right.
We just moved everything to online. And that was not easy. It wasn't easy to do this every time online and not to be with people and to sit there and watch the screen and listen to this bald-headed, bespectacled man talk to you the whole time. It was not easy. It really was not easy. And you did it for 3 long years. So we want to recognize your commitment, your steadfastness, and your balance. Dwa, dwa, dwa. So family, with that, there's no word from the Sebayit today. What you really should recognize is you're seeing people who have committed themselves to this tradition. And while some of you are, but many of you are not actually part of the Wenwet, part of the priesthood of ancient Kemet. You have also committed yourselves to do certain work. Look at their commitment and remind yourself, particularly if you were initiated, that you made a commitment, not just to yourself, but to others. And we also know that there are some of you who are waiting in line to be in this training as well. Whenever we said, oh, it's over, people were like, don't forget me. Please don't forget me. I got those emails. Don't forget me. So there are others who would like to also join the Wenwet as well. And we will be telling you more about that in a little while as well. With that, yes.
I wanted to say something.
Please,
I
go
wrote
ahead.
a little something, but I'm not going to say
You can if you can say it if you like. This is a good time to do it.
I'm going to be real brief, though. I just wanted to say 2 hours in return. 2 hours to Baba Haru. 2 hours to you and Anika, to let you know that, we watch you hard working. I watch you because I see you work. You're a working priest and you be moving. And I appreciate that, and sometimes we don't give thanks to people as much as we should. So I give thanks to you and Anika. That's a great example in terms of you moving and doing the work and putting the left foot forward. As we push down on Isfet, in our communities, in our lives, globally. And one of the things I had something from the Sebayit that I wanted to read, but I'm gonna leave it for right now. But
you can read it if you want.
All right,
Depends on what you want to do.
All right, I'm gonna look at it real quickly.
Okay.
Because it's dealing with service. And in terms of us as Hemneta, is servants, and being in the community, it's servants, I'm gonna find it. I believe it comes from the book of Angshen Shoki. Yeah, okay. All right.
We'll have them slide over. If you can come this way, and then the rest of you can slide that way.
Right.
Yeah, so you can come center. No, so he can be center.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So this, I had written, I said I wanted to share a quote with you from the Sebayit, and the Sebayit are the wisdom literature that come forth from Kemet. And essentially they were and still are instructions for us to use to guide our lives. And this quote, as I said, it comes from Angshen Shakti. And you can find it in the Husia, one of the texts that we study from, by Baba Maulana Karanga. He translated some of the texts that came out of Kemet. But this is what it says. It says, serve Neter, that she may protect you. Serve your brothers and sisters that you may enjoy a good reputation. Serve a wise person that he or she may serve you. Serve one who serves you. serve any person so you may benefit from it. And there's something real deep to that. When we serve people, we benefit from it. Sometimes it's unbeknownst to us, but there's something that sometimes it's intangible, but it's something that we sometimes gather from serving other people. And it goes on to say, and serve your mother and father that you may go forward and prosper. Examine every matter that you may understand it. Do not say that I am learned, but rather set yourself to become wise. So in other words, always constantly seek to educate yourself to grow and to become a better person and to make your community in turn a better place. Set yourself, but rather set yourself to become wise, be gentle and patient, then your character will be beautiful. And I want to read this again. Then your character will be beautiful. It is in the development of character that instruction succeeds.
Mm.
And that's from Ashen Shanki. I was thinking last night, we need to have more better development in our communities. And I think of the youth, and not only the youth, but just the world in general. If we develop good character, then we'll treat each other differently. We won't be so apt to pick up a gun and shoot somebody or pick up a knife and shoot somebody. So I just wanted to share that piece with you. And I'm gonna read this too. I just said, as a people who hold up Ma'at, we have to create more institutions like the Shrine of Ma'at. We have to create safe spaces that instruct on the development of character. And I believe this development of good character will go a long way to curb much of the violence that occurs in our communities and throughout the world. And I just put it that a topic for further discussion. So I just wanted to say that piece to everybody.
Dua for those wise words. Dua. Did you want to say something?
Most definitely. As you behold us here, these gentlemen here and the other ones and other members of our community, a lot of people ask me, what is Kemet about and what is this? Is it a religion? No. And I say, no, it's spirituality. In our concept, we are accountable. We don't have something that made us do that. I did this. If we commit us, if we steal, it came from a place of lower nature, some place that we didn't have control over those emotions and those actions. If we speak and curse, or we get dry, or we disrespect elders and all those things. This is us. It's not no other entity, nothing else doing this. It is the elements that are in us that we have not taken control of. And the whole spiritual concept, not only in Kemet, but throughout other African principles and practices, was that you were held accountable for thyself. Know thyself, so your days may be long. Know thyself, so that when others see you, you as a reflection of them and yourself. We are not better or anything like that. We just look at things more deeper. Our association with the Creator, we don't have him or her. We understand that the divine energy was both masculine and feminine. That's why you hear the Greeks and other people that came in contact, they didn't understand how we looked at things. And so they had gods and goddesses. We didn't have no such things as gods, but we did understand that there were some energies that manifested as masculine and some that masculated as feminine. And we recognized those things in us. And we understood that duality was a concept that was always constant. And that you weighed those things on what we call Mahato scales right down there. The scales, you cannot see them, but you will see it on the justice system. The woman of the scale that you see with Lady Justice comes from us. It's an African concept. And your heart was placed on one side of the scale and a feather on the other. And when you was being judged, your heart must be light as a feather to proceed forward. And so it was up to you to help to bring that scale and get it into balance. That's all. Dua.
Dua.
I would like to veggie off of you, Abu Ahmed. Dua to all of you, dua to Hemnetter and Tepiyu, and dua to Baba Heru, first and foremost, and to the Neteru ancestors for this joyous occasion. Makai, right? The scales of my eye. It's just like Hemnetter and Tepi, Anika was just saying, you got to heal yourself in order to do the work and move forward. And I must say, it's been a joy learning and experiencing that from you guys. And we're not perfect, but interacting with your fellow human, no matter what you practice. I know it's other practitioners watching and stuff, but you got to check and balance yourself, rebalance yourself, because you don't want your heart weighing more than that truth, reciprocity, justice, order, that feather, So, dua to you for the experience.
Dua.
Okay, now.
We need this.
No, you can hold it. So one of the things of this journey, I want to say, dua netta to Ahen Netta and Tepi, Danica and Jabari. So it's been 3 years. It's been a long 3 years. It's been a challenging 3 years. Challenging for you and challenging for all of us. I am one to say openly that unfortunately, Uncle Jobson Ned, I through this experience, I had 3 strokes. So, and I'm thankful
Not
for
because of this experience.
That's correct. But
Let's be clear.
but because of this journey, I've been able to heal from it, and the fact that I have the healing from the fact of learning and dealing with the spirit. And I'm so happy to have my family here, my extended family also here. So just to let and the fact of what we say in the African village, we said do ma'at and live. That's very important to know, and that's something that we should always live by. Dua.
Dua.
I definitely want to say something. You guys are the example of leading from the front. And, working in business, we know what that is like when you have a manager who expects you to do things that they don't do. Watching you guys has been very, very challenging because you're very, very hard to walk in the shoes of. It's very, very hard and it's challenging. And for me, when you're in an environment where you're the only one doing what you're doing, you need that successor. You need someone to look up to, and you need people that can show you how to do it correctly. And the two of you are examples of that, and that's the reason why you have these fine young men standing in front of you, and ladies too as well who are not here. You guys exemplify what the legacy is supposed to look like and what it's going to look like for the future. And we appreciate you. We love you, and we know how much work you put in to this. And all we can do is do the best that we can to continue this legacy as golden as you've made it shine. So we appreciate you. Dua.
So family, a lot has been said. We want to celebrate these individuals for their journey of 3 years plus. And we want you to know that you will have access to them, right? Reach out to them and celebrate with them, congratulate them, right? There's a good time to congratulate them. Shoot them an email, a text. I see the messages popping in the chat. People say, congratulations, and then a name, right? So that we know that your folks are there. We know that the African village is up in there heavy. We know the lighthouse is up in there heavy. We also know the Shrine of Ma'at members are up in there heavy. So we want to say Ankh and Ma'at to you all and Dua for celebrating them for what they've done. Now, there are 4 people that were not able to be here. They might feel a little sad right now. Please don't be sad. We know that you are standing here even though you are not here in physical form. We know that you have committed yourselves to 3 years of work and you weren't able to be here. I know that if I wasn't able to be here, I would feel, oh man, I didn't get to go. Recognize that this is only the first step on a journey. This is this new journey. In a little while, there are going to be some other people standing in the seats that you were in, and they're going to be asking you for guidance and assistance as they move forward into the WINWED as well. There are going to be individuals who need assistance from you. And for those folks that are not here, so many of those individuals did that work as well, of assisting other people into the tradition. We didn't get to recognize you. We didn't get to see you in person, but we know that you are there in spirit. And we just want to celebrate you as well. Okay, we want to celebrate you as well. We're talking about Hemneter Ka, Hemet Neter Seshat, Hemet Neter Waseret, Hemet Neter Mehert. I almost said Noni, which is the other name you probably know her as, Mehert. Those individuals who are not able to be here, we want to celebrate you as well. Okay, I think that that is where we will end for today. Can I say to all of you, Shemin Ma'at, go forward in divine balance. Do the work. You are a practitioner. You are a practitioner. You are doing the work. And that is of critical importance. Follow in the legacy, the footsteps of these individuals who have decided to do the work at the highest level that one possibly could. Have an amazing day, and we will see you soon. Shema Ma'at. Go forth.
Shema.